Hey you guys, it's Peter, and I'm back. Of course I'm back. I'm not going anywhere. Beast! Peekaboo, I see you because I'm YouTube famous now. Available Christmas 2024, the album, Dad, Shimmy Shimmy, AF, only by K-Tel. I'm dreaming of a Smoky Mountain Christmas. You can take the girl from the country, I have heard them say, but you cannot take the country from the girl. Beast, how are you guys doing today? Oh my God. So, let me tell you why I chose that song. Look, Christmas in July for you today. Let me tell you why I picked that song today, okay? Because while I'm getting ready for my videos, now, I know that, you know, most influencers, I don't consider myself an influencer, I consider myself a dude with a camera, but most influencers, while they're like, you know, getting their setup and calling their editors and their videographers and going over to their studio and their things like that, or their studio in their apartment or their house or whatever, I just like, you know, make the bed and put on a hat and things like that. So while I was getting ready for my video today, and getting ready for my video means which fan am I going to choose to use today? And since I'm talking about Jaclyn Hill, I chose my trash fan today. And then which lip balm am I going to use? And today we're going to go in by the, not sponsored by Jaclyn Hill, Not a Morphe number 9 Twizzler, a lip balm today. It's so fantastic. It's so silky smooth on your lips. But anyway, while I'm doing all of that, okay, I play music in the background, and whatever song, like, is like, oh, this is the song for today that I have to play, for my video. That just, like, it kind of goes along with it. It's so funny because, you know, so many times when I'm doing Jaclyn Hill videos, that song, Tell Me Lies, Tell Me Sweet Little Lies, comes up on my, iTunes. I shuffle through my iTunes, you know, and then I, come up with the song for the day. And so today's song was one of my all-time favorites, but I don't know that I think it's real appropriate, okay, for a YouTube video, even though all my videos are marked not made for kids, but Added Up by the Violent Femmes. I love this song. Day after day. You guys, I love this. Oh my God. My cousin Caroline, no true story. When I was like, so my cousin Caroline's like 3 years older than me, and so when she was, so my cousin, I told a story the other day on a review video of mine, I think, but my cousin was in this sorority. Now people are like, there's not sororities in high school. Bullshit. Okay, there's sororities and fraternities in high school. In Indiana, at least there are. And my cousin was in this sorority called Dolls. Did I tell you this over here, or did I tell it in my, it doesn't really matter. But anyway, so my cousin was in this sorority called Dolls. In fact, okay, when we were at, and she always tries to act like she don't care about high school and all that kind of stuff. When I bring, I'll be like, how's your friend so-and-so? She's like, I haven't talked to her in 20 years. I don't know what's going on with her. But anyway, so when we were at our wedding, okay, my husband and I, we were at our wedding in Las Vegas. Caroline was like my best person, right? The best part of the wedding was, and we have pictures of this, is when they announced us, you know, husband and husband. And so we got married in the Cosmopolitan. We were overlooking the fountains of the Bellagio. And so we timed it all perfectly, you know. And so right when we kissed, the fountains of the Bellagio go off. Well, in the pictures of us kissing and everybody applauding, my cousin Caroline's looking out the windows. She could care less about us being married. No, she's looking out the window at the fountains of the Bellagio, like, oh my God, they're so pretty from all the way up here. But anyway, so we're at the wedding, right? Well, it was like, I think it was like a day or two before the wedding. We were all laying out by the pool. Oh my God, I love that Boulevard pool so much at Cosmopolitan so much. I don't really like that. What's that? The Marquis Day Club. I don't love that so much, but I do love that, the Boulevard pool. Oh my God, I love the Cosmopolitan. It's like my favorite hotel. It's probably, well, maybe not my favorite hotel, but it's the one in Miami. Maybe that's my favorite hotel. I love the one in Miami so much. But anyway, so we were laying by the pool. Well, one of my friends and one of Caroline's friends, she went to high school with, right? I told this story just the other day. And so Caroline and we're all laying out by the pool. And so this friend that went to high school with Caroline, I think she was like a year behind Caroline. She was like, oh my God, Caroline, you were so popular in high school and stuff like that. And Caroline, you know, this is my cousin Caroline that we both have a grandma that went to prison. We thought it was one time. Then we found out it was 2 times that my grandma went to prison for embezzlement. And then now we think it's 3 times, okay? And so Caroline and I are going to do this whole video series. We were going to do a podcast. We're going to call it Cousin Cousin because we really want to get a reality show called Cousin Cousin. But then my cousin was like, no, this is stupid. We should just do a video show. And then when we're going to like, it will be real funny because when we're going to like the Family Service Office, the Division of Family Services, and we're trying to see if our mothers were like in foster care because they told us different stories. My mom said she was fostered out to family, and my aunt said that she was in foster care when my grandma was in prison, but they didn't tell us that she was in prison. We didn't find that out till after my mom died. But anyway, and so my cousin Caroline said, she goes, no, it'll be real funny because like we'll like have this funny interchange while we're standing out in front of the Division of Family Services finding out if our moms went to foster care. I was like, Caroline, that's not funny. I don't think you get it, right? And she's like, no, but we'll make it it like real funny. And then we were driving down the street and I was saying to Caroline, I was like, Caroline, I said, like, this is so sad. Like, Grandma's life was so tragic and all this kind of stuff. And she was like, I know. She was like, it was so sad. And she was like, I don't, know what we're going to do and blah, 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 and all this kind of stuff. And she goes, I can't believe that McDonald's closed. I was like, Caroline, this is why we cannot do a video series. She's like, what? This is the interchange that people are living for. This is why we need to do this series. She's like, people will think this is so funny, our interchange. So Caroline and I are going to do this whole video series, but we're not going to do it until the pool closes. And so August, maybe September. The kids go back to school this week, I think. Thank God. I don't deal with those kids at the pool anymore. Oh my God. Can we just get it back to being old-timey people up at the pool? So anyway, what was I telling about? Oh, the Cosmopolitan. So Caroline and I, we were at the Cosmopolitan with this friend of ours, right? We were laying out by the pool. And so, like I said, Caroline, she don't like to talk about high school. She acts like that was a million years ago. She don't care about that kind of stuff, right? And my cousin Caroline was so popular in high school. No, she was. I wanted to, like, be my cousin Caroline in high school. She was, like, basically, like, one of the 4 mean girls. But she wasn't mean. She was just that popular, right? And she was, like, the girl that was, like... I said this in a video the other day, and somebody said, you shouldn't be telling those things about your cousin Caroline. I told my cousin Caroline, I think she'd gone to a wine tasting, so she was, feeling pretty good. But anyway, I called her on the phone, and I said, people are telling me I shouldn't be telling things, but I said in a video, because I said that, like somebody was asking a bunch of questions about the condo and things like that, and that my mom, I should be so thankful. I am, Mom, I'm thankful, so whatever, about this condo, okay, that I put more money into it than my mother ever did. But anyway, I said in the video, I said, my cousin Caroline, I said, she's an only child too. I said, who do you think inherited all her parents' money? I said, my cousin got that. Her parents' condo was 3 times. I got this comment on my video. Somebody was like, I cannot believe you're talking about your cousin Caroline's finances. I mean, like, it's kind of easy math, right? Like, you didn't even have to, like, take math class for this. It's kind of easy math to figure out, that, like, my cousin's an only child. They sold their parents' condo, okay? And I said in the video that her parents' condo was like 3 times as much as mine. Who do you think got the money? The dog? So I called my cousin Caroline. My cousin's like, I'm going to go over and comment on that. I said, Caroline, no, you're not. Okay, you're going to go light your candle on your patio and take pictures of it and put it up your Facebook every time, like every other time you've had, a couple of Tito's and tonic. And you're going to just have an easy, and so she started laughing at me, And so, because I'd also said in a video that my cousin, like, came out at, like, well, she didn't come out, but, 16, she came out of this, like, marijuana, like, fog, right? And just was like, what happened the last 16 years? She thought that was so funny. She's like, that's so true, because I did. Because she smoked a lot of pot in high school. We all did back in the day. I mean, that was what you did. I mean, they do it even more now, but that's beside the point. But anyway, so I'm talking to my cousin on the phone, and she goes, I kind of gave an edited down version of my vlog. I was like, Caroline said, I don't care. She doesn't care what I say. She's like, you can talk about my son, you can talk about my husband, you can talk about my marriage, you can talk about my house, you can talk about my finances, you can talk about anything. She's like, I don't care. And she's like, and anybody that wants to come for us talking about our grandma, she goes, everybody is dead. She goes, our moms are dead, our grandma is dead, all of our aunts and uncles are dead. She goes, everybody is dead. She goes, it's just us. She was like, so we can talk about whatever we want to talk about. You know what I mean? And so anyway, that's what Caroline said. But what she really said, she was like, I don't give a fuck what you talk about on video about me. She goes, you say whatever you want to say. She goes, I am your cousin. We are basically brother and sister because we're 3 years apart and we're both only children. I was like, yes, ma'am. But anyway, so we were at the Cosmopolitan, right? I keep on getting this story. So anyway, my cousin Caroline and I, this is where people are like, you have really long intros. And I'm like, my intros, like, I always think of my intro as like the singing part. Like, I don't think of this as like the intro. I feel like this is kind of like the video, like the meat and potatoes. Because when I get comments on my videos, more people comment about this kind of stuff than they do about the Jaclyn Hill stuff, right? Unless I talk about somebody like Rosanna Pansino, which I was going to today, but you can't say anything about Rose. The number one rule of like 2023 and 2024 is like, don't talk about Rosanna Pansino. You can't say anything about Rosanna Pansino. So I won't say anything about Rosanna Pansino. But she is one of the busiest people on the internet right now, okay? I swear to God, every time I open my Twitter, the 2 busiest people on Twitter are Rosanna Pansino talking about Mr. Beast, and people have been asking me, why aren't you covering this stuff about Mr. Beast? I said it in a video about 3 videos ago. I don't know enough about that story to cover it, and I'm sure as shit not saying nothing about Rosanna Pansino. I don't learn that lesson, okay? And I watch some of her bacon videos, and she seems like a real nice gal. I like Rosanna Pansino, So anyway, that's all I'm saying about it. I'm not saying another thing, okay? But she sure didn't make one tweet, okay, about Colleen Ballinger. She's made 1,500 about Mr. Beast. But I know that alone is going to get me a bunch of hate, so that's all I'm going to say. But next to Rosanna Pansino tweeting out, you know who the most busiest influencer on Twitter is? Elon Musk. I mean, how does he run these businesses that he has? I mean, isn't he worth something like $200 quadrillion? and he owns like 15 billion businesses, and he's going to the moon and things like that. I mean, that man tweets out literally like every 10 minutes. I feel like, and I don't even follow him, okay? I feel like every time, and he was on there bitching about, the other day, bitching about like meta, I can't even pronounce the word, metadata on Twitter. And he's like, metadata on Twitter is so unfair. And I'm like, don't you own Twitter? Could you just call that up? Like, I know if I own McDonald's, okay? And I was pissed that they don't have the vegetarian Big Mac because I'm a vegetarian, but I heard that they do a vegetarian Big Mac. But if I own the McDonald's and I called them up and I was like, do you have a vegetarian Big Mac? And I'll be like, I'm the fucking owner. You're going to get a vegetarian Big Mac tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? So you own Twitter, but you're bitching about Twitter. But anyway, what was I saying? Oh, the Cosmopolitan. So Caroline and I, and this friend of ours, and so she was laying there and this girl goes, I mean, Caroline, you were so popular in high school. And Caroline was like, I wasn't really that popular in high school. She was that popular in high school. And she had a different boyfriend every week and things like that. So anyway, we won't get into all that, even though she said I could say whatever I wanted to say. All I know is that every boyfriend that she had at Christmas got his own ornament on my cousin's, or my Aunt Kathy's Christmas tree. And 30-some years later, those ornaments are still on Caroline's Christmas tree. You can see his name on the back of it, okay? It'll say like, I won't say the names, but I know all of them. So anyway, they all got their own personal ornaments up there. I don't even think her husband knows those ornaments are dedicated to the ex-boyfriends from 1987. I don't think they do. But this girl goes, oh no, you're so popular, Caroline. You were so popular in high school. And Caroline's like, I wasn't really that popular. And she goes, I mean, you were in Dolls, Caroline. Like, Dolls was like the sorority, okay? She went to North Central High School. She's like, Dolls was like the sorority at high school. My mom was in a sorority, okay? When she was in high school, my mom was the president of her sorority too. I wasn't. My parents, my mom and my dad, well, my dad could care less. My mom was a Pi Phi. My aunt was a Pi Phi. All of their friends were Pi Phis at IU. Pi Phi, Pi Phi, Pi Beta Phi. I'll be a Pi Phi all my life until the day I die. I wouldn't be a Kappa, DG, or Alpha Chi. I'd be a Pi Phi, Pi Phi, Pi Beta Phi. My dad, okay, was president of the Fijis. He was a Phi Gam at IU. He didn't really care, but my mom was devastated. My mom and my aunt were devastated that my cousin and I, that we didn't, you know, join the Greek life and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, Caroline, she was in Dolls, and so his friend was like, Caroline, I mean, you were in Dolls. Dolls, Caroline. She's like, I mean, yeah, it was whatever. And she goes, she keeps on going on about this Dolls thing. And she goes, I mean, Caroline, you were the secretary. Caroline's laying there like this with her eyes closed. She goes, Caroline, you were the secretary of Dolls. I look over at Caroline. She goes like this. She goes, I was the president of Dolls. See, that's the kind of shit you can't, like, you cannot make that shit up, okay? People think I script my videos. I didn't even know I was going to get into all this kind of stuff today. I had a whole, we're going to talk about Jaclyn Hill here in a second, okay? Because we're talking about liars and scammers of the world and stuff like that. But anyway, oh my God, so I went to the dentist this morning. Let me just tell you the hell that I had this morning, okay? So I had to go to the dentist this morning because, well, you know, I was talking about this on my vlog the other day. Some of the things that I would give, like, some advice I would give to the younger generation is, number one, always keep up with your teeth, okay? Always. Now I got to go for quarterly cleanings because I got, what's it called, the periodontal disease, and you got to go, like, 4 times a year. Just if you want to keep your teeth. Just if you want to keep your teeth, okay? That's number one. Number 2, always go to your doctor every 6 months and get checkups. That's and preventative medicine is really, really important. Number 3, save $5 a week in a savings account if you can. By the time that you're my age, you'd be a millionaire, okay? Or $20 if you can. If you put $20, you know, I should do that math. I'm not that good at math right now. Well, I'm not that good at math ever, but let's see. $20 times 52, that's 1,000. I don't think this is going to equal $1 million, do you? But when I was 20, I'm now 30. So, like, let's see, times 30. Well, that would only be $30,000. I guess that's not that much. But if you could put $100 a week aside, most people can't put, people are like, Peter, you could put $100 aside. No, we got pallets of Jeffree Stars to buy. $30, okay, that's $5,200 a year times 30 is, you'd have 100, well, that's still not $1 million. I don't know, fuck it, you're not going to be a millionaire. It doesn't matter. You know, you just got to get to the age where you realize you're not going to be the millionaire because, like, you know, I put this up on my Instagram last night. Hold on just a second. Where's that at? I put this on my Instagram last night. Well, first of all, I put this thing about Sister Wives on there, because this is where I'm on this season where they're pitching Sister Wives and trying to get money for it. Are these a bunch of idiot fools? I have never seen so many people. That jewelry is so ugly. Cody talks, the Sister Wives closet jewelry that I got on the line because I was going to buy some, because I was in the first couple of seasons. I was like, oh, these gals are kind of nice. Maybe I'll buy, you know, a Claudia ring on a necklace or something. That is the junkiest jewelry ever. Okay, so Janelle says that if 1% of the people that view their website online would purchase 1%, that would be worth $10 million. I'm like, girl, this is what I put on here. This is why you need to follow my Instagram. Girl, I hardly made it through basic math, and that math ain't math, and no wonder they were invested in that junk jewelry. That jewelry is so ugly. Oh, what I was going to put on Instagram. But anyway, because I'm all up in this Sister Wives. But last night I started watching that show, Sharp Objects. I've been wanting to watch it for years with Amy Adams. Oh, it's so good. Anyway, so Unbelievable the Scroll. So I put this on here. I said, you can have the best. This is a little quote meme thing. Mimi. Do you call memes? I like to call memes. I think Giphies, Jiffies. I don't care about all that. But memes I like. Because I have a friend and her name's Mimi. And I always call her up. I go, oh girl, there's a bunch of memes. Like, she thinks it's real funny. Anyway, I say it about 1,000,000 times. She still thinks it's funny. When you're my age, jokes don't get old. You're going to die with them. Anyway, you can have the best times of your life in your own little house with your own favorite people, your own comfy sofa, your own little kitchen, your own little snacks, your own little garden, your own comfy bed. If you have it, you're done. It doesn't get any better. Nothing can surpass the happiness that comes from a real, true home. And I agree with that all day long. Like, for example, we had this movie premiere in Indianapolis yesterday for that movie Duel. I don't know what that. It's with the guy from Zack and Cody. I think he's on Riverdale or something like that. Anyway, it's supposed to be like this big movie, and they had the whole, because part of it was filmed in Indianapolis. So of course they reached out to me. I don't get invited to shit, okay? I don't get invited to shit. But they invited me to this thing. I don't know why, okay? A week ago, last Sunday, they said, would you like to come to the premiere, the after party, the red carpet? I was like, yeah. Well, first, actually, true story was, I was like, I don't really think I want to go to this thing. I said something to my husband. My husband goes, well, you always say you don't get invited to anything. We should go. And I said, oh, okay. So I messaged back and I said, yes, I would love to go. Can I, bring my husband as a +1? Yes, absolutely. What's your email? Never got an email, blah, 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 whatever, okay? Followed up, never heard anything back from it. So I think it was about 4 hours before the event started, they sent me an email and they were like, oh, here's your pass for blah, 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 whatever. No, man, I was sitting on my couch, okay, watching an episode of Sister Wives, getting ready to go for my walk for the evening. I was like, we had brunch today, okay? I do not eat before an event. I was like, listen, if you know, you know. That's one of those, okay, whatever things. If you know, you know. I don't eat before an event, okay? I just don't. I'll stay hungry until the after party when I can go eat the treat trays, okay? And by treat tray, I mean hors d'oeuvres. So anyway, I messaged this guy back, and I said, hey, I really appreciate you asking me, but you reached out to me for a week ago, and it's now 4 hours before, and I said, I am comfortable on my couch. Thank you, but no thank you. I am not one of them fancy. This is why I don't live in LA. I don't need to be going to all this kind of stuff. But anyway, because then they'd invite me and I feel like I had to go. And then my husband would be like, well, they invited you, so it's a nice thing to go. And then I feel like I have to go to La Creme Shop. I don't even know what the fuck La Creme Shop is, okay? I feel like they're having pop-up bars left and right and having all these people. And everybody's like, oh, La Creme Shop. What is La Creme Shop? Is that an ice cream or is it makeup they sell at Claire's Boutique? I don't know. But anyway... But I always see people online, they're always going to La Creme Shop parties and shit. I don't care, okay? I don't care. I want to sit on my couch and watch Sister Wives, take a walk, and listen to Swamp Spies, which is book 27 in the Misfortune series, okay? That is a good day for me. And having brunch with my husband, making love with my husband. That is a good... Girl, if you cannot handle that, we have been married for almost 15 years, or together for almost 16 years, married for almost 13. What do you think married folk do, okay? Anyway... So I'm at the dentist, right? She's all up in my mouth. I'm listening to my audiobook. And so this guy that works there, he's real nice, okay? He comes in and he's like, after I'm done, he's like, oh my God, you're on the TikTok. And I go, what? I go, I haven't posted a TikTok in forever. He goes, no, this guy made a TikTok about you. It came up on my For You page this morning. I was like, what are you talking about? And he starts showing it to me. And I'm like, I literally, my whole mouth is numb, right? Because she put that Q-tip in it. I hate that stuff. But anyway, so he starts showing me this TikTok of this guy. Y'all want to see it? Oh, I asked him because anyway, I put it on my Instagram, then he messaged me and I asked him, I said, because it says on his things they them. I said, you go by they them? He goes, you can say they them, you can say he, you can say whatever. So anyway, but he did this whole thing about my review channel. I was like, oh my God, he totally gets me. This guy gets me so much. And he said, he was like, he and his fiance. So, hey, fiance, I think his name is Brian. So I think his name is Joe. Hold on a second. I have it screenshot right here. I think his name is Joe. Let me look where it is. Yeah. Joe and Brian, shout out to you. I'm going to link his TikTok below. He is so nice, you guys. And let me just tell you, he is 100% accurate about this TikTok. So here you go.
A lesser-known obsession of mine that's been on rotation for the past couple of years or so has been this gay, older, dad-like gentleman who has a YouTube food review channel. and also coincidentally, ostensibly the most aggressive case of ADHD I've ever witnessed. Essentially, the yap levels on this man are off the charts. I'm gonna play a little snippet of this video I'm watching, and I just want you to guess what food he's reviewing.
And so I'm standing there and I'm like pulling out the iced coffee, and then I was like getting some ice cubes out, and I was like, oh my God, will our ice cubes melt? And then the electricity went on like an hour later. But anyway, so maybe a half an hour later. Because then when the electricity went on, I was like, oh, I guess I was waiting for my cousin to come pick. You don't care about any of this stuff, do you? Or do you? Oh my God, it is kind of interesting though, isn't it?
Was your guess ranch Cheez-Its? Because if it wasn't, you're wrong. Update, we have passed the 8-minute mark, and he's yet to take a bite of anything.
Okay, because I can hardly pass geometry.
I think he's about to.
So anyway.
Time!
Hang on. Yap! I yap! And I have ADHD? Who, me? Oh my God. But then let me just tell you, I watched this, I was like, oh my God, this guy gets me so much. I live for it. This guy totally understands who I am. He is not somebody, he is not somebody that's coming over here going, you're not doing the review in the first 30 seconds and things like that. Because people that come over here and they're like, oh my God, it's 25 minutes and he still hasn't got to the drama. I'm like, you don't get it. Okay, so anyway, but I have to tell you what is so funny was, I was kind of scared to read the comments, if you want to know the truth. I was like, ooh, these comments are not going to be pretty, right? But the comments were so nice. I actually commented on it. I left them a little comment. Oh, hold on. Where did the comments go? I said, my yap levels are undeniably off the charts, LOL. Thanks so much. Because he said my review channel, and I said, this made my morning. Oh, and I have 7 channels of uncontrolled yapping. He said 7. I wasn't even aware. The Peter lore goes deep, I see. So many people were so nice on here. Okay, I love it. Somebody said, if I am being brought back to the good old YouTube drama days, somebody said his yapping makes me fall asleep with like a sleepy. I was like, oh my God. Somebody said this is exactly how I tell stories. Somebody said I've seen 15 seconds of him and I'm obsessed. Somebody said he used to have a drama channel. Girl, I still do have a drama channel. What are you talking about? I mean, I know I only get 3,000 views a video, but it's okay. Anyway, somebody said, oh my God, I used to watch his videos all the time. Somebody said, how did I know it would be Peter? Somebody said, oh my God, Peter Monn. Somebody said, haha, for years I could only fall asleep to Peter Monn's voice. The chaos is soothing. All these people have said such nice things. I watch him all on YouTube all the time. I used to watch him on YouTube. We love Peter Monn. Thank you for sharing this, Jim. Wait, I love Peter Monn. That's my father, somebody said. Isn't he on TikTok? I'm not on TikTok. Somebody said, oh my God, Peter, mine, Defo is neurospicy. That man has been on YouTube for years and was a drama channel news reporter. News reporter, girl, you are being so kind. News reporter, investigative reporter, east of the Mississippi. Okay, look cream shop. Somebody put, Peter Monn! Somebody said, honey, he did a 30-minute intro to one drama. 30 minutes? Girl, we are right now at like the 20-minute mark, okay? Somebody said, oh, him, I'm too impatient for his content. I love that comment, actually. That makes me so happy. And somebody on here, it was so funny. Where is the comment where, okay, so somebody commented on here and they said, where is it at? They said, imagine him having a conversation with Cosmo, Queen of Melrose. They would be talking for days. What is so funny about this is, I literally just sent a screenshot, okay, of, where is it at? Where's Tanya Jean? I just sent this to my best Judy, Tanya Jean. Where are you at, Tanya Jean? I just had you pulled up. Here you are. I just sent this to her the other day, and I put underneath us, our conversations, LOL, true story.
My father gets a job at the Palm Restaurant. My Uncle Junior works there, who is a Jehovah's Witness. Believe it or not, he went from Catholic to Jehovah. So basically, my grandmother wanted...
People are telling me that I am like the Queen of Melrose. I love Cosmo so much. And people are like, you talk just like Cosmo. I'm like, I do. And then I watch the videos and I'm like, oh my God, I so relate. Because this is totally me and my friend Tanya Jean. That's totally how we talk. But anyway, I just want to give Joe a huge shout out. Joe, that means the world to me. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. You totally made my morning. I think, you know, I talk a lot about this in a lot of my videos. Like, I think that's something that a lot of people would be, like, offended by. Like, you know, people calling me yapping. I know I'm yap. Like, I'm a little annoying dog that won't go away, right? Or that, like, I have this unhinged ADHD. You know, it's so funny because I was talking to a friend of mine about this the other day. It's like, I grew up, you know, being exactly that. And that was so weird. And, like, I didn't fit into circles when I was growing up that way, right? Because I was just, you know, and, like, people just look at me like I was crazy. And, you know, back when I was growing up, you know, what they would do is, and my mom was like, no, we're not doing that, was, like, they just throw you on Ritalin at, you know, age 5 and whatever. And there was, like, no therapy with it. There was nothing to talk about it and whatever. And so I just kind of had to learn how to make it work for my life, you know, which is why I now have 14 notebooks with 32 lists. And, you know, people ask me, they're like, how do you get so much done in a day? What? You mean like make 7 videos? Take a 2.5-hour walk, listen to an audiobook, watch 18 episodes of TV shows, and make love to my husband and hang out with my dog all day long, talk to 4 of my friends on the phone, and go to a 12-step meeting? How do I do all that? Well, that's why, okay? Because I have probably, what did he say? The most outrageous ADHD in the entire world. But I learned to make it work for me, you know? And, and you know, I've been talking a lot about my OCD and stuff like that in other videos. One of the things for me, and like talking about OCD and PTSD and things like that, is not necessarily having these huge diagnoses or even taking offense about that, right? But it's about understanding how to work in a world with knowing that that's what you're dealing with. And I don't think, you know, in a world where we live, where mental health treatment is extremely expensive and not accessible and not affordable for most people, you know, I'm really in the belief system that we really have to normalize that there are so many people that are struggling with these things today. I don't look at it as something that makes me less than or keeps me down for other people or makes the opportunities not as great for me, or at least I've tried not to look at it that way. One of the ways that I've tried to look at it is it's just, it's a different language than I speak, or a different way that I look at the world than other people do. And I think that's beautiful, you know, and I think that all my brothers and sisters and everybody out there that looks through the lens in a different way. I look through the lens through having, you know, OCD and ADHD and being sober, and I look through the lens of the world that way, where other people might look through the world of the lens the other way. But I just have to say, like, that made my morning this morning, you know, just, I felt seen. I felt seen because I was like, oh, this is somebody that kind of like is making a joke of it, but at the same time, he was like, we watch your videos. My fiance and I have watched your videos for years. We love you. He was so nice. And I just want to say, Joe, I really, really appreciate it. Okay, so let's get into Miss Jaclyn Hill at the 30-minute mark. There's your 30-minute intro for you. But anyway, so I saw this stuff come up last night. Well, a couple people were sending it to me, and then I went over on my fake side account. Jaclyn Hill has me blocked on stuff. This is why blocking is pointless, okay? Because everybody, like, if you're going to go look at somebody's stuff, they already have 400 accounts, okay? Every drama channel that I've ever talked to, every commentary channel, we already have 10 accounts, okay? You know, fake accounts, stock accounts, and stuff like that. So if I want to see somebody's stuff, I'm just going to go in there and look at it. It's why often, like, blocking is pointless. It doesn't also make sense to me because, like, Jaclyn Hill has me blocked, like, on Instagram, but nowhere else. And then Jeffree Star has me blocked on Instagram. I think he might have unblocked me, actually, recently. But I think he has me blocked on Instagram, but I can go into my side account. And he has me blocked on TikTok, or maybe he unblocked me on TikTok, I can't remember. But then he unblocked me off of Twitter. It was just so weird to me, I don't get it. It's just like, it's really kind of like I'm sending you a sign is really what it is. I just want you to know, okay? And I'm like, oh, okay, finally, after 15 years of talking about this stuff. So I went over on my side account to go look at Jaclyn Hill's Instagram. And I saw that she had posted these things on there, right? And I was like, are these old photo shoots? Like, what is going on? Oh, all these books I want to buy. Hold on a second. Anyway, okay, so I saw these, she had put these things up here. Oh, this hat, this Love Trucker hat. I want this hat so bad. Anyway, I got all the stuff that I want to buy. Hold on, I'm getting out of my receipts now. What else do I want to buy? Oh, the more Jaclyn Hill. Somebody put, I screenshot these little, like, I know you can't see any receipts that I show you, but I screenshot these little, like, quotes on Instagram that I love so much. And this one said, social media has created jealousy or jealous behavior over illusion. Sadly, some are envious of things, relationships, and lifestyles that don't even exist. Girl, let me just tell you, okay? I said this in a video the other day, and people were, like, so surprised when I said how many influencers I've talked to that don't pay their taxes or don't save money for their taxes. I mean, I felt like that was, like, month one. My very first paycheck I ever got, I was like, 38% put in a savings account for your taxes, okay? I cannot tell you how many people I've told through the years that are like, oh no, I'll just save that till later, or like the month after. I'm like, how do you know you're going to make that the next month? Oh girl, I ain't worried about it, or whatever. Then years later, they're like, oh yeah, I haven't paid my taxes in 3 years. I'm like, girl, other influencers have talked about how this has bit them in their ass, right? But when I talk to you guys about these people, like, and people are like, well, what are the things you know behind the scenes? There's the things that I know, I didn't think really anybody would be interested. And when I said that about the tax thing, there were so many people that commented on it. When I tell you how many people I talk to that you guys would think have a shit ton of money, that all the time are like, I'm broke, I don't have any money, blah, 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 whatever. I mean, I don't talk to them anymore, but back in the day when I did, they'd be like, oh yeah, like I have to take sponsorships because if I don't, I'm like, how are you that broke? Like you have so... Girl, I don't know, like, I just did this, and I did that, and whatever, and, you know, it's just, I'm like, how are you broke doing this? So many of these people are so broke. But they always want to show, like, they got this great life and things like that. I'm like, you know, for me, it's about being on the couch, okay? For me, it's about having less, not more. For me, yes, I do like nice things, but I don't buy nice things unless I can afford the other things first, right? And so it's interesting to me, and I love this quote, social media has created jealous behavior over illusions. Sadly, some envious of things, relationships, and lifestyles that don't exist. Most of the people that I know that have luxury shit, it's fake, okay? Most of the people that you see these things, and it'll be like this huge room, this house, literally, I know they're living in a 500 square foot house. From years ago, they would tell me that. You know, like, oh, that's like something that I went and filmed. All these influencers from back in the day. I'm like, anyway, so I saw this stuff that Jaclyn Hill was posting because people were sending it to me, so I went and looked for it. Where is it at? Okay. Oh, this little video of my dog, Boo Radley, in his new bed. He was so excited about it. I showed this in my vlog, but he was getting his bed already. I got him a new bed. He loved it so much. So anyway, where's the Jaclyn Hill quote? Jaclyn Hill. Oh, here they are. Okay, so Jaclyn starts going off on her Instagram story. Here, I'll put it up here somewhere. Where am I at? Okay, I'll put it up. I'll never remember where I was at when I do this. But anyway, I think these are old pictures of her. They have to be because they're the old lipstick container. So it says, good morning. Woke up thinking about how I spent 2 years completely redoing my Jaclyn Cosmetics lipsticks. You mean Forma Brands, girl? Because you weren't the CEO. This is where she continues to lie, okay? And I just said in a video the other day and talking about Toddy Westbrook and how transparent Toddy Westbrook was with coming out and talking about Toddy Beauty and things like, or Halo Beauty and things like that, and how, like, if you want to buy these things, buy them now. Somebody got in the comments said, what are you talking about? That palette of Toddy's was the best. I don't know what that comment was about, but I have said in numerous videos that my friend Tanya Jean, I gave her that palette when Miss Toddy sent it to me. That's why I said, don't send me stuff, because I always just give everything to Miss Tanya. She, to this day, she's like, that was the best palette I've ever had in my entire life. That Toddy Beauty palette, she was like, best palette I've ever had in my entire life. She's like, I wish she put out another one. I don't know what that, I've said that in numerous videos. I don't know what anybody was talking about. That's why people want to try to twist my words and things like that. Girl. Anyway. So, I don't know what she's talking about in here, but I just said the other day in my video because Toddy came out, she's super, super transparent, right? About, like, going to court, and she might have to settle and things like that, and so Halo Beauty might cease to exist, and if you want to buy things now, go buy them now, because they might not be around in a couple months from now, and I was like, this is where, like, 80s, I took a poll. Remember the poll that I ran up a fundamentalist ass? Okay, that poll for Raw Beauty Christie. But I took another poll for Toddy, and I said that poll said that, like, I just pulled this out of my ass, probably where the fundamentalists tried to get to in the closet. But so I said that like 83% of Miss Toddy, like, she's transparent like 83% of the time or 80% of the time or something like that, I said, which I feel like is true. There's certain things she won't really come out and address. I don't know if she can't yet with the court things, but like the James Charles stuff, she never really comes out and addresses and things like that, but whatever. So anyway, this guy outside that's blowing, do you hear this? He just asked me, he's like, do you need me to blow or would you rather I pass? I go, you can pass and I appreciate you asking. That really means a lot to me. He goes, oh, no problem whatsoever. Now they're out there blowing. Okay. So she said, good morning. Woke up thinking about how I spent 2 years completely redoing my Jaclyn Cosmetics lipsticks that I never really owned, and I was never the CEO. I was just the face of... Oh, she didn't say that. That would be too honest for her, but she's not a liar. New factory, new formula, new packaging, expanded shade range, and a full photo shoot. Then never launched them or even told anybody, decided to destroy them. I have a whole video coming to you that I don't think... I maybe have made one video about this person in my entire career, talking about shade range. We haven't talked about shade range in years. And I saw this come up and I was like, ooh, this is very interesting. Okay. Then never launched them or even told anybody. Decided to destroy them and instead shut the brand down. No, girl, actually what happened was Forma owned your brand. Forma didn't feel that your brand was lucrative anymore because you're never online, okay? Well, on YouTube. You're on Instagram selling your Amazon shit left and right. But they didn't feel that your brand was lucrative anymore, okay? This was people were talking about this for years. Kevin James Bennett, he came out like 6 months before and he said industry insiders are saying this to be true. Then it happened to be true. I had also speculated it. Other people were talking about behind the scenes that Forma brand who owns you. When you went to Forma Brands, their website back in the day, it would say the brands they own. They would say, these are our brands that we own. It would say Morphe, Jaclyn Cosmetics. So the fact that Jaclyn Cosmetics, she wants to come out and she wants to say she has partners, okay, she can say that. But Forma Brands actually on their website said, we own these brands, okay? It's a complete blatant lie what she said. So what Forma Brands said was, if you want to buy, because probably what she did was she went to them with $10,000 or something, $100,000 or whatever, and said, I don't have the money. Linda from Morphe probably called her up and said, Forma has helped me, or whatever Forma was formerly, and said, they've helped me. We can take you to a level that you can't go to on your own. We can give you the backing. No, this is a lot of businesses do this. Sister Wives Closet on Sister Wives is doing this right now. Well, in that season that I'm watching. And so it's a business smart thing that people do. They get financial backers and things like that, right? But why not just be transparent? Because she's led with this story through the years that this is a family-owned business. It's her business. So now, if she comes out and she talks about how the fact that Forma owned it, what it does is it proves to everybody that called her a liar that she actually is a liar. Jaclyn Hill will never back down from the fact that she's not a liar. She could come out and just say, you guys, I just really wanted, I started it as a family-owned business when I bought the LLC, and I really wanted it to be a family-owned business, and I had my family working for it from the word go, but I couldn't get it to where I wanted it to go without having financial investors, and so I went with Forma to invest it. They owned majority rights. They let me stay on as the face of Jaclyn Cosmetics because I was the one that started the brand. They were the financial investors, but she could explain this and nobody's going to fault Jaclyn Hill for it, okay? But she holds to it to this day. Forma brand offered Jaclyn Hill to buy her own company back. She didn't close the brand down. In fact, just recently, she's contradicting herself because just recently somebody said something to her on her Instagram. I have the receipt in my phone. And she said, I know it's very confusing, but Jaclyn Cosmetics didn't file bankruptcy. The company that owned Jaclyn Cosmetics filed bankruptcy. Now you're saying that you closed your brand. She said, and they closed the brand down. So now you're saying that you closed the brand down when just like 2 months ago, you said in a comment section of your Instagram that Forma closed your brand down. Yet again, proving that you're a liar, okay? And I'm not just the only one saying it. So stop coming for me for those people that are like, Peter's always calling Jaclyn Hill a liar. She is a liar. She's a proven liar. Several times over a proven liar. Why anybody trusts anything that comes out of this woman? If she's willing to try it, if she's willing to lie about her business, you think she's not going to lie about a review? You think she's not going to lie about something that she thinks is good on Amazon just to get people to buy it? She's willing to lie about anything, okay? So her word is shit. Her word means nothing. Because she won't even come out and give her audience. She won't even come out and say Caitlin Nicholson's name about the Cozy brand. She won't come out and address her own audience about the truth. So she's sitting here and she's saying that she closed down her brand. No, Forma offered for her to buy her brand back. In her video, she even said that. She even said they offered for me to take over my company, and I didn't want to do that because I'm not interested in makeup anymore. I mean, this is where people are like, Jaclyn Hill doesn't lie. She literally said it in a video. The video's still up. Go watch it. It's called Closing My Brands. Or it's the one after that, okay? She says it. She explains they offered for her to buy the brand. It's the very first video of 2024 or her last video of 2023. Go check it out. I already covered this, okay? She said that they offered her the money and she didn't want to do it. So now she's saying she closed her own brand down. Girl, this is like where you tell yourself a lie long enough that you start to believe it. I mean, they closed the brand down because you weren't willing to buy it, okay? They gave you the option to do it. I don't know how that makes you powerful. I don't know how in your head you're like, yeah, but I really closed it down because I could have bought it, but I didn't, so it was really finally my decision. No, girl, it was really their decision, okay? You opted not to buy it. They closed it down. Their options were close it down or sell it to Jaclyn. Jaclyn opted. They were the ones that had the power over it. You proved that. You proved that you were not the CEO, okay? Because if you were the CEO, you wouldn't have had to buy the company back from yourself, okay? You would have been selling it to somebody else, not them selling it to you. That's not the definition of an owner, all right? Then she goes on and she says, look at my eyes. You can see my heart was not in it. I was so destroyed mentally. This is her, okay, again, making jokes, then it's not a joke, then I can't joke about it, then it's so hard, then I'm going to joke about it, but you can't joke about it. I can make all the jokes I want to make about it. I can make jokes about my Chanel purse, the fuzzies falling off onto the lipstick, make jokes about the fuzzies on the lipstick. I can joke about it, but you can't joke about it. Oh, here I am. Now I want to play victim again. Okay, Jaclyn, look at my eyes. I think your eyes look good in this picture. I don't think that they... I mean, girl, I don't know. Here, let's throw up a picture right here, okay? She says, look at my eyes. I think her eyes look... Here, I'm going to take another screenshot of this. I think her eyes look pretty good right here. Compared to Miss Robin on Sister Wives, Miss Robin Brown, when the fashion designer says, can I be blunt with you? Do you have another dress? Because this is not working, okay? Let's look at those two pictures. Who's got the worst eyes? You can tell their heart's not in it, okay? Look at my eyes. You can see my heart was not in it. I was so destroyed mentally. I hated what my life had become. I'm sure it was so difficult working with those 6 scientists that you paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to get to the bottom of lipstick gate from the company that you didn't even own, that you've never come out and addressed what those 6 scientists said, okay? And I was drinking like a fish to cope, no amount. And then she does get in here and talk about her sobriety date, which I'm very impressed with. Congratulations to her on that. No amount of money or sales could bring me happiness or peace. Not launching these lipsticks was the best thing I could have done for my mental health. And she goes in here, and this is where she talks about she was coping by drinking. But then she goes on to say, although I'm not currently working on makeup, I know for a fact that I've entered my comeback era. My lipsticks will return again one day, and my heart will be in it. Girl, this ain't Titanic, and your lipsticks are not going to go on, okay? What are you talking about? We do not need the return of the hairy lipsticks. And then she goes on, she says, 365 nights ago, I had my last alcoholic drink. Tomorrow, July 29th, is the day I poured out the bottle of vodka, feeling so incredibly blessed and happy right now. And I just want to say to Jaclyn Hill, congratulations, okay? As a human being, congratulations. As a person in sobriety, one day is tough as shit. 1 hour is tough as shit, okay? 3 days is tough as shit. 10 days is impossible. A month is amazing. 365 days, and I'm saying this to you with all genuineness and authenticity. Jaclyn Hill, you are literally a miracle, okay, in the eyes of people in sobriety. And I say this a lot. However you choose to get sober, I choose to work a 12-step program. How other people choose to get sober is none of my business. However you choose to get sober, the fact that people choose to get sober today, when they find that it is depleting and muting their life, is amazing. And Jaclyn Hill, for that alone, is a positive example of how sobriety can change your life. However you do that and define that. I think that's amazing. Okay, so congratulations, Jaclyn, to you on that. I want to be very clear about that, right? Okay, so then it was brought to my attention, because I'm like in my head, like, what is she talking about? The lipsticks will return again? I wear my sunglasses at night. I just looked down there and I thought I saw sunglasses, but I don't. They're reading glasses, but I have my eye infection still, so I'm wearing my glasses, not my contacts, so I don't need my reading glasses right now. But it would have been funny if I had my sunglasses on, wouldn't it? I love sunglasses so much. Oh my God, I just bought a sunglass case from Amazon. I'm going to do another haul on Amazon today. I got a very special haul on my Peter Does Stuff channel today. But no, I bought this sunglass case, and I thought it was my new watch case, but it wasn't, off of Amazon. It was real cheap. I didn't link it. I don't really link most of my shit over there. But anyway, if you're watching this video from a year from now, I probably am linking everything. But anyway, as of now, I don't really link anything. And if I did, okay, I would appropriately disclose it. So anyway, but I went over and I saw that Kevin James Bennett, okay, had put this thing up over here. And I was like, oh, this is interesting, because I think Kevin James Bennett, trained expert in the makeup department. Kevin James Bennett, trained makeup artist and makeup expert. Kevin James Bennett, beauty, cosmetic, and personal care, cosmetic brand and product developer, Emmy award-winning MUA, that means makeup artist, educator and industry expert, consumer advocate, okay? This is not somebody that just got online and was working at the Mac counter and one day decided that they were going to be on YouTube. This is a makeup expert, okay? So he posted the Jaclyn Hill pictures, and so for all those people that want to say, oh, you're always dragging Jaclyn Hill. Well, Kevin James Bennett is an expert. I just showed you his credentials, and this is what he had to say about it. This post is not because I was put on this earth to drag Jaclyn Hill, although it feels that way sometimes. I was ready to let the latest Jaclyn Hill messiness slide by, but too many of you dropped into my DMs. See, it's not just my DMs, it's his DMs as well, asking that I address this IG story, and I didn't want to have to answer each DM separately. By the way, none of us would have a reason to call out Jaclyn Hill if she just stopped being so entitled, self-involved, and messy. I 100% agree with this. So let's get into it. I spent 2 years completely redoing my Jaclyn Cosmetics lipsticks. But wait a minute. Didn't Jaclyn claim in the I'm Closing My Brands video that she had done the very least to support the Jaclyn Cosmetic brand? And that's why it failed? So how is she working for 2 years on Lipstick Reboot, even doing a photo shoot for the ad campaign, if she had disconnected from the brand and was doing the very least to support it? Well, the reason why she had time to do the ad and not support the brand was because her job was to be the face of Jaclyn Cosmetics, which actually on paperwork what she got paid for. It shows that she got paid, I think it was something like $100 and some thousand to be the face of Jaclyn Cosmetics a year. So doing a photo shoot and part of an ad campaign would actually fall under that. So she was following her job duties, but she wasn't doing other job duties because those weren't her job duties. And he knows that. So he's being kind of sarcastic here a little bit. Here's my 2 cents on what this IG story means. One, Jaclyn, this is him saying it, not me, okay? Jaclyn, the compulsive liar, doesn't care if she contradicts herself while attempting to gaslight us again, but we expect that from her now. Number 2, Jaclyn, he calls her name, I'm not going to put on here, who never takes responsibility for her actions, needed to demonize Forma Brands even further because their bankruptcy papers verified she never owned Jaclyn Cosmetics. Just so you know that. You can go look at the paperwork, okay? Number 3, Jaclyn, the narcissist, felt the need to portray herself as a victim even though she knew exactly what she was doing when she willingly licensed her name to Forma Brands, giving them the right to make all the decisions about Jaclyn Cosmetics. I think that sums it up. Let's read the comments underneath here and see what people say. Somebody said, I think this is a made-up story so she could post 3 pictures because she was going through her old photos and liked the way she looked, so wanted a reason to post them. And Kevin James Bennett responded and said, I don't disagree. That reasoning falls right into her line with her, okay, her overt narcissism and compulsive lying. Interesting. Somebody said, she and James did a video recently trashing makeup in a film. It was so tacky and disrespectful. They wouldn't last one day on a film set. She's talking about James Charles, this person. Kevin James Bennett responds and says, I saw that. I don't think James Charles realized how stupid he looked trash-talking the eye makeup on a movie poster where there was obvious digital manipulation of the image, screaming, who is this makeup artist? And a poster in a movie theater lobby made him look like a fool because we know he understands the promotional images for theatrical releases. Somebody said, who's even buying her stuff anymore? Well, no one, because it's not available anywhere. Jaclyn Roxanne, Cozy, Jaclyn Cosmetics, the only place. I was at the Marshalls the other day because of my cousin Caroline. She had to go to this bridal shower, and so she wanted this dress, and she was like, she wanted it to be kind of like, you know, a little bit above the knees, but kind of like big, and, you know, baby doll dress, but kind of like the big ones with the big C's and stuff like that, but floral. And I was like, oh, floral. And then we saw this woman walking down the street. I said, like that. She was exactly about floral. So we went to Marshalls, and I was looking there. We also went to Nordstrom Rack. Jaclyn's cosmetic stuff isn't even there, so I don't know where it is anymore. So people keep on saying all this kind of stuff. It's interesting, the Jaclyn, the James Charles thing. You know, one thing that I haven't even really, I mean, I've called her out a few times for it, but other people really haven't, is that Jaclyn Hill openly follows Colleen Ballinger, somebody that she got in a video and said did her wrong. She got in a video and said Colleen Ballinger did her dirty, okay? By putting her in the middle of the Christmas circle and all this kind of stuff. Colleen Ballinger, who has evidentiary fact of her having predatory behavior, okay, towards minors, she continues to follow her after that. She continues to also follow James Charles. Don't tell me in all these times that she says that. So many people ask me in my DMs where I got this scrunchie, so I had to link it non-disclosed to my Amazon storefront. Don't tell me that in all those DMs she hasn't been asked about her following Colleen Ballinger. She hasn't been asked about Caitlin Nicholson. She hasn't been asked about the closing down of her brand. That she hasn't been asked about James Charles. Because I can tell you right now, I probably got no less than, I was like, I'm not going to make an hour video about Jaclyn Hill hanging out with James Charles. But she's really good friends with Lipstick Nick, who has now made it very clear that she is really good friends. Lipstick Nick is problematic as hell. She hangs out with all the problematic people. Jeffree Star, James Charles, Lipstick Nick is so problematic because she hangs out with all of them and keeps her mouth shut. So she has no problem co-signing their behavior, but she completely stays out of it. Now, I have called out Manny, Laura, Joey Graceffa, Daniel Prada, Nikki Tutorials even, who I don't really find that problematic, except for that she still remains friends with James Charles. I have called out hundreds of people, and Jaclyn on this one, because there's so much stuff with Jaclyn that's messy, I haven't really even, like, got been that hard on her. But she still to this day openly follows Colleen Ballinger and James Charles. In fact, just went to a movie with James Charles where they were trash talking makeup. So Jaclyn Hill moves from Tampa when one of the things I used to give her credit for was that she stayed out of a lot of the drama because she wasn't in LA and she wasn't really that friendly with those people. Then she comes to LA and on a TikTok or on an Instagram story that I covered in my video, she gets in there and she talks about how she's had to unfriend people because they were using her for money. And then she goes and hangs out with Manny and Laura on their unresearched, highly opinionated, highly problematic podcast. And then she goes to a movie with James Charles. Can somebody please make this make sense to me? I'm very, very confused. So you got rid of the problematic people in your life, Jaclyn Hill, but you still follow Colleen Ballinger and James Charles, and you hang out with you hang out with James Charles, Manny and Laura. 3 of the most problematic people, you still hang out with them, so you co-sign that. So who is it exactly that you got rid of that was so problematic? I'm very, very confused about this. This is going to stop in just a second. Hold on. I didn't realize this video was going to be so long today. So I'm very confused about it. But I will say, I think it's 2 things, okay? Number 1, I think it's interesting that this person said she was rolling through her pictures and she saw these pictures come up and was like, oh, I'm going to post these and I'll get people started talking about me again, blah, 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 blah. And every time I hint at the lipsticks, she doesn't care, okay? This is the thing about Jaclyn Hill you have to understand, that I finally, after covering her for so many years, that I finally understood, okay? When Jaclyn puts up something about the lipsticks, she doesn't care. She's trying to get a response, okay? When Jaclyn comes out and says, I'm not a liar, when it's proven, okay? And there's no way, I don't think she's that stupid. She says that stuff, and she says, people are bullying me, and people are this, and whatever. And then she comes out and she goes, I was the owner. She continues to say it when she knows damn well she wasn't the owner. I don't really think it's because she is really trying to tell people that she was the owner of... I don't really think it's about that anymore. I really think that if you look between the cracks of who Jaclyn Hill has been through the years, of being at that party where she's painting her forehead with a $100 bill, that is such a diss to her audience of, I don't really give a fuck, you're about my money to me. And when she was at the Halloween party and she wore the canceled dress, that's really the true Jaclyn Hill. That's really who she is at her core, okay? So do I think she's fully aware that she doesn't own her own brand and that she really hurt Kaylin Nicholson and that she's never been honest with her audience? Yes, I 100% think she's totally aware of that. I think when she does shit like this, it's to try to stay relevant and to piss off her audience. If you look at the people she hangs out with, James Charles, Manny, and Laura recently, okay, they're people that don't give a fuck what they say or how the world thinks of them. They don't at all. And they never apologize for it and they never take accountability for it. And now Jaclyn Hill's with them. Do I think that they were with her and it was like, oh my God, girl, you should feed out the lipsticks again? That would be so funny. Oh, really? I should. I have this photo shoot that I did years ago. Oh, girl, let me see the pictures. Oh my God, that would be so funny if you put them out and all the drama channels would make videos about it. About how you were going to make these lipsticks again. Girl, bring back those hairy ass lipsticks, okay? And I will make 14 videos over it. And I don't really care what good quality they are, okay? What are you going to do, girl, after you came out and you closed 3 brands, supposedly, that you didn't even own most of them, okay? You closed those brands down so you can start a new brand to launch your lipsticks, okay? Oh, but by the way, you're also hanging out with James Charles, Laura Lee, and Manny MUA, all 3 who own their own independent makeup companies that are probably in your ear about how to do it cheaper. And so you're like, well, maybe I could. Now I got to act like I like lipstick again. Now I got to act like I like makeup again because I got to show this more shit out so these people will buy it, okay? So you reformulated these lipsticks and all this kind of stuff. You went with new factories, okay, that you never gave us evidence about the old factories. You've never been transparent. You've never told us about this process. You did this whole photo shoot for this, and when you knew a year ahead of time that the brand was closing down because you were going to LA for meetings, I clocked that a year ago. Well, isn't that the truth? So when were you doing this, girl? 6 months after the lipsticks came out? That when this was going on? But then you chose to go forward with the lipsticks knowing at that time that you thought the brand was going to keep on going. So the 6 scientists was a lie that somebody told you and you still won't come in and tell the truth? Girl, come out with those lipsticks, okay? Because I can make 100 videos about how you still don't own no brand, okay? And it's all about the money to you. And the lies perpetuate the money because this is old school Jeffree Star started this shit, right? The more people that are talking about, I don't get those many views on my videos anymore, but if you could get a video that would get you 300,000 or 400,000 views on a drama commentary video and people are talking about you that way and TikToks and things like that, that'd drive you a lot of attention. And then people would start talking about you again. And you might sell some shit, right? And you need money, don't you? Isn't that the truth, Jaclyn Hill? Okay? So if that were the case, and you could stir up people talking about the lipsticks, you know, and it's really not ever about you ever releasing the lipsticks. Just like when I showed in a video a screenshot of Jeffree Star putting like Jeffree Star, it was like this purple thing of him saying release date 6/7/24, and I said 6/7/24 came and went and nothing ever happened, and people in my comment sections were flooding it and going, well, maybe he reversed it because in Europe you do it the different way with the months and dates. I'm like, what? Okay, nobody in the United States does that, all right? Unless you originally were born and lived in Europe. Nobody in the United States does that. I don't know anybody in my 52 years, unless you were born and raised and lived in Europe, that you switch the month and the date, okay? And all these people in the comment section said that. Well, I didn't even make a video because I thought, how boring, right? But July 6th came. Jeffree Star didn't release anything with a purple leather snakeskin on it. No, it's all just to stir up drama. The thing is, nobody cares anymore. That's why these videos don't do well. Nobody cares anymore, right? Nobody cares. So anyway, Jaclyn, good luck with them lipsticks. Good luck with them hairy lipsticks. I'm going to stick with my Twizzlers number 9, not from Morphe. I'm going to stick with those. What you should have done, like Linda at Morphe, was you should have cashed in your check, okay? And traveled exclusively to Fiji and all these other places like she's probably doing and never spoke about makeup again. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section below. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.